My name is David Bryson. I am with Team Elevate Worldwide, powered by eXp Realty. We're going to do the model explained for Portugal. And to do that with me, I have Guilherme Grossman, who I probably just butchered his name. He is the country lead for Portugal. So Guilherme, thank you so much for being on. Truly appreciate it.
Thank you very much, David, for the invitation and for the interest in XP in Portugal. We are very pleased. We just make 1 year of operation now. So thank you very much for your support and to help to grow our team here.
Yeah, yes, of course, absolutely. So let's start with, as if nobody has ever heard of eXp, they have no preconceived notions. Tell us a little bit about the history of eXp, just how it got started.
So XP already exists for 13 years. It starts with Glenn Sanford. He was in the beginning in another brokerage in KW and was running very well. He was not from the market, real estate itself, so he joined and have a huge success. And later, when was the big crisis in the US, the Lehman Brothers problem, all the economy stops, and he was very invested in the company with 3 marketplaces, a lot of fixed income and fixed costs for his business. That in the beginning was okay, was running well. He was have a cash coming in, so was no problem. When came the crisis, he was only with the expenses and no revenue, so it was very big problem. And he decided to take everything that he learned that was very nice from KW, all their way to work, their model, and improve it to a better one, to XP, where the agent can benefit from everything from the business itself. So he decided to create the XP Realty, all based in the cloud, so he can reduce the fixed cost at the minimum and give most of the benefit for the agent without having many intermediary steps that we have in a traditional brokerage. Here we don't have it. So the agent can have a maximum commission and can improve to a very high commission if he can be successful in a model that he goes on. Apart from that, we also have different ways of revenues in the company, because it's a way of the company to compensate and to be grateful for the agents who help the growth of the company. So it's a way that then an agent get compensated if he brings another agent, he invites another agent to the company. So it's a revenue share program with 7 levels that is very powerful, that can be very interesting for the agent, because usually as an agent, we depend a lot in our work, in our capacity to do it. If some reasons we feel sick or cannot have ability to work anymore, we lose our income because it depends a lot on us. And in XP, we can have an extra income that not depend exactly on us, depending on our network that we have. So this is amazing, very different, and is attracting a lot of people on the market for our model. And one thing is a sharing on the top of also is that everybody in XP is have the possibility to be a shareholder, to be part of the company as well. So this is a game changer as well, because no other company I know in this kind of level offer you the opportunity through your work without needing to invest the cash to have shares of the company, to be part of the company. So this is a game changer, and is not only a game changer, is a different, is a change on the behavior of the people. Because if David, if you are my partner, a shareholder with me, I have all the interest to help you to grow your business, because we are the same boat. If you have a good year, it will be a good year for me as well. So this is something that changed a lot the behavior of the agents because in the real estate market usually it's a big fight between people and competition. Everybody wants to hide their contacts, their information. Here in XP we work very clear, very open mind and open information, so we are all together in the same boat. So this is something that I like very much since the beginning. And the fact that we are not a franchise, that we are one global company, this is really something that makes a huge difference because I am in Portugal, you are in US, and we are in the same company. We are the same strategy, the same goals. So this is something that don't happen if you are in a franchise company. So everything together makes the offer to the agents in XP very unique on the market. So that's why we are growing like we are growing now.
Yeah, and talk about it. So if I'm an agent and, you know, me watching this video with the two of us is sort of my introduction to eXp. Some people have preconceived notions eXp might be more for seasoned realtors. Some might not think it's for beginning realtors. Talk about what you need to be a realtor in Portugal and where eXp can meet you on your journey.
eXp, for you to be a realtor in Portugal, is different from other countries. You don't need a license here to be a realtor. So you just need to join the company. And after you join, you have all the tools that you need to work. You have a very good CRM that is connected worldwide with all other international countries. You have all the real estate portals because in Portugal we don't have unfortunately we don't have an MLS system. So we need to work with the real estate portals that are very expensive to have. So as you join XP, you gain access to that without needing to have an extra cost. So you place a property inside the CRM of XP, and automatically it goes to the XP website and all the real estate portals in Portugal and some international portals as well. So you have a visibility of your listing all over the world. So this is really interesting for you if you are looking for international clients as well.
So you touched on before a couple of the unique benefits of eXp, which are the revenue share. If you bring other agents on, you're rewarded financially for that. That you and I, you know, we participate in the stock program. When you sell something, helps my stock price, and when I sell something, helps your stock price. So we're all in it together. Speak about the commission splits in Portugal and how that gets broken down.
So usually the real estate market in Portugal, it's a 50-50 split in the traditional market. Here, some companies 40-60, but it's a traditional one is 50-50. In XP in Portugal, we are above the market. So we have 75-25. So the agent keeps 75% of his production. So this is really much higher than what the market offer here in Portugal.
Yeah, no, that's a great split. And then talk about it, what it costs to become an eXp agent. Do I have to pay a sign-up fee? Is there ongoing monthly? What are my transaction fees?
Yes, you have to. There is a initial fee for you to join the company, a joining fee. That is 100 euros. But this 100 euros is already included the first monthly fee. And after that, after the second month, you have to pay a monthly fee that's 50 euros per month. And that's include all the technology that we offer, the CRM, all the other software, our XP World, that is our virtual office, and the workplace, it's our social network, and many other tools that we offer is already included on that. And also all our team in Portugal. We have myself help the agent in the commercial area to prepare their business, the business plan. We have 2 lawyers that helps the agents to upload their listings to verify all the documentation of the listing, so we can be sure that we have everything in order, legally. And when the business is closed, we have another lawyer from our company to help on the closing, to book the contract and to book the final deed, everything. So you have a full support from our team in all the steps of your business. You're not alone here. And also cover all the training that we have in Portuguese and in English. We have more than 50 hours of training per week. Most of the company here, they also have training, not so interesting like what we have, and not included on the monthly fee. They have to pay an extra cost. Here in XP is already included on the monthly fee.
Yeah, and so like the team I'm part of, Team Elevate Worldwide, we even offer more training to people, whether they come on in Portugal or Germany. We have weekly trainings, a lot of them. We have access to sales materials, how to do a listing presentation, how to sell on social media. So when you come into the eXp family, there's usually not a lack of training. So whether people are beginning or they need more advanced training, eXp does have that for them. One of the things you mentioned on is, you have the lawyers who help you with every step of the deal. In Portugal, well, in America, eXp helps us with the errors and omissions insurance. It's sort of like a blanket insurance policy. Is there that kind of equivalent in Portugal, and what does eXp have for that?
Yes, but it's different here because we have one insurance only for the whole company. So the agent itself, he don't need to have this insurance. We have, as a brokerage company, we have the insurance that cover all our business. So this is all covered already.
Okay, and talk about the cap limits, what it means to cap, what that means in terms of stock, and what an icon agent is and how somebody can attain them in Portugal.
So in Portugal, you start with 75% of the split, means that if you make a commission, 75% of this commission goes to you as an agent. And then when you produce 100,000 euros on gross commission, means that you keep 75,000 euros for you, and you contribute with 35,000 euros for the company with commission. So after you pay 75,000 euros to XP Portugal, you means you are capped. Means after that you don't have to pay, and you can keep 100% of the commission for you until you reach your anniversary date. Meaning that if you reach that after 3 or 4 months, that when you begin to work, all the other 6 months or 8 months, depends when you reach it, you can collect 100% of your commission. Apart from that, we have the icon status, the icon agent status, meaning in Portugal, you can have 2 ways to reach it. Or after you make the cap 100,000 euros on commission, if you make plus 30 transactions, then you are eligible to be an icon agent. Or you can produce at least 400,000 euros on gross commission plus and at least 10 transactions. One of these options, you reach an icon status, and then you all the cap that you done, the 25,000 euros, you get back in stocks from the company. And it's not stocks from XP Portugal, it's the stocks from the World Holding, XP World Holding. That is the holding that is owner of all the business internationally, including US, Canada, and including Verbella also, that is our technological platform, and other companies that we have inside the holding. So you became a shareholder of international group.
Yeah, and one of the things, I know you touched on the training, but I think it's so important that real estate agents, I think sometimes you can feel alone and out there. And what I love about eXp is how you said, you and I are connected, not just financially, but we're connected in terms of training too. It's a global platform through the eXp world. People can get 40 to 50 hours of live training a week. eXp has bought a training series from a guy named Grant Cardone, who teaches you how to sell. Guilherme's group has weekly trainings as well, sort of mastermind best practices. We at Team Elevate have the same on a weekly basis. So no matter where somebody is at in their career, there's enough training for them, and there's enough encouragement and support for them too. And I think that's the hardest thing about real estate, is sometimes people just feel they're doing it alone. eXp, you are not alone, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah, exactly. We here we feel a lot of because we don't have a physical office, but we feel much more connected with the people because we meet every day in XP World. In Portugal, we have meetings every day in the morning. Like every Monday, we make a business meeting for exchange of business. So this is very powerful because you can exchange business. You can have a listing, and some of your colleagues can have a prospect buyer. So you can match each other and make business together. So this is something that we do every week. And we're starting now to make internationally as well. Next Monday, we're going to make Portugal and Spain. So we can have clients from Spain buying Portugal. So this is the beauty of the XP, because we are not franchising, we can be much more integrated than other companies. And 2 or 3 days a week, we have training in Portuguese every week, sorry. And we have all the international training, including the Grant Cardone training and everything, available for anyone who wants to participate without any extra cost.
And how does eXp help in Portugal with lead generation for agents?
So we have the portals that are very powerful. We have 4 main portals in Portugal that are Casa Sapo, now with the Super Casa that belongs to them as well, Imo Virtual, Idealista, and the List Globally, that is international portal. So the most powerful nowadays is Idealista, and we are all integrated in our CRM. So when you place a listing inside our CRM, automatically go to all these real estate portals. And for example, in Idealista, this is more traffic and more lead generation in Portugal. We make a special agreement. So every agent that join XP will have a special page inside Idealista, and with a direct line, and with some highlights for his listings to be in the top of the listings. And this is a very expensive to have there. So XP is supporting this cost and offering the agent this possibility to leverage their business and upgrade their incomes. And it's already making a difference here. And no other company in Portugal offers this kind of solution for the agents.
Amazing. So we've covered a lot of ground today. Do you want to sort of recap eXp Portugal in a nutshell, or is there anything we missed or anything you want to highlight?
No, I think we are just starting Portugal. Portugal XP have make 1 year now, and we are reach already 200 agents and around 200 sales and some good commissions coming in. For the first year was not bad, but the interest is so high in Portugal. We are making contact with a lot of people. People are in a wait and see to see where we're going. But I think now we are proving that we can do it. We have very experienced people in the background, and also a lot of very good agents joining from all the brands are joining XP now. People with a lot of experience, they're making business, they're bringing very nice listings for us. So I think the next year will be very, very good and very profitable for the agents who want to join us in Portugal.
Well, he is Guilherme Grossman with eXp Portugal. I'm David Bryson with Team Elevate Worldwide. And so if you do have any questions about eXp Portugal, please reach out to Guilherme or myself. We'd be happy to answer those questions and talk to you about eXp Life. So thank you so much for joining me in this and helping to explain the business model.